What's the worst time of year to have mice? Yeah. There's no good time of year to have mice. Mice get in your house and they start setting up shop. They breed 4 to 6 times a year. You guys have probably heard me say that enough times where you can regurgitate it to your neighbors just as easy. They'll have upwards of a half dozen every time. They're leaving a mess. People are more afraid of bats. Mice carry way more types of diseases than bats ever did, and they're getting way more spots. You know, when you open your silverware drawer and you think the kids spilled the chocolate jimmies from last night's cake. No, that's mouse droppings. Mouse droppings under the basement or in the basement around the edges. Mouse droppings under the kitchen sink where the plumbing comes up. Brown staining that looks like a trail. Scratching in the wall, scratching in the floor, scratching in the ceiling, running, scampering around. They get everywhere and they get everywhere fast. Now, it's more people will notice it more in the cold in the winter, and that's mostly because they've spent all summer picking up grass seeds and dog food and in the bowl that you leave outside, or cat food, and they're hiding it all over the house. You know, I've said it a million times. You go in the garage and the pair of slip-on shoes that have been sitting there for 6 months, you go to put them on one day and the toe's full of dog food. You're like, how in the hell did that get in there? Mice, they spend all night picking it up and moving it over there because that's now a spot where they're going to eat if they're in that area. Uh, Same in the air in the attic. You got your cute little bird seeds out there with your black oil seeds. They're all over the garage. They're crushed cells, or they're in the attic, or you find it on the insulation up in the attic. You're like, well, how did we get bird seed up here? They brought it up. That's what they do all day and all night, all summer. If they're used to being in your house, then when it rolls around to being nice out, that's what they do. They're about survival. They're about making sure they're ready. So all season, they're running back and forth with food. And the winter comes in, they're not going out anymore. It's too dangerous for a lot of reasons. They can't be running around in the open. They're susceptible to prey. All the beautiful gardens that you have around the foundation of the house that protect them and they can run around quietly hidden, that's all gone. So the owls, the hawks, your neighbor's cat, your cat, whatever, is just waiting for something stupid to come rolling by so we can get a free meal. It's no different. So they spend the whole season in the house because they got all the food they need. They're this big. They're living in your 2,000, 2,500, 6,000 square foot house. They've got food everywhere. They could spend the first month in the east wing, and then they're over here, and then they're over your bedroom. So you hear it, you don't hear it. The kids hear it. You think they're having dreams, or they're not listening, or they don't know nothing. They didn't hear nothing. No, they are. It's all there. They get thirsty. They'll lick the pipes. They'll lick the copper pipe. They'll lick the condensation. They'll lick the condensation off the wall on the exterior walls, for God's sakes, running around in your basement. You go on our website, you'll see tons of pictures of what the brown staining looks like when they're running around and the scent trails that they leave to get from over here to over here. They don't just run around randomly. Over time, they've created these trails. Now, I mean, that can open a plethora of things because we get customers that really have a big problem with mice, and the next thing they know, they're calling because they got snakes in their basement. Yeah, they got snakes because the snakes follow the scent trail. They come in and eat the mice. It's just a big circle of life going on in there. So there is no good time. There is no better time or worse time to have mice in your house. If you have mice and if you can notice mice, if you notice that you have mice, you already have a big problem. You just do. You start seeing a few droppings. That's nothing compared to what you're not seeing going on. The wires that are in the basement, you flip them a little bit and you look in the whole top of the white wires brown. You're like, what happened? Are these wires burning? No, that's just staining from the mice, making a scent trail. You're running along the top of the concrete. Edges of concrete are brown. That looks like somebody smeared molasses on them. That's the mice. So don't hesitate. You can do preventative work. They're the only thing that as a company we don't warranty because it's just literally impossible to completely stop them. I don't care what any company says. You can't completely stop them. It's just, if there's a way into your house, they're going to come in. You know, sometimes it's just something that's, you got a back deck and the deck sits, a foot and a half off the ground and the deck is in a corner, and that particular corner, when they put the concrete and then they put the header board down to build the walls, they didn't butt the two boards up enough, so there's a gap there, and they find it and they get in that way, and you don't know it's there because it's buried in insulation. It's up in the corner behind the bikes and the Ouija board and all the games that have been there for 20 years, so you don't know they're there. So if you've got mice, just call somebody, text us. We'll come look at it. We'll give you we'll give you all these different options, whether it be trapping and prevention. exclusion devices, a lot of different ways that we can take care of this, mitigate this, and then bring it to a situation where they're gone, you know, or in some cases, if it's an old farm or something like that, we've wiped out that population, or we've taken care of the situation to a point where now, you know, what was overrun with mice might be once in a while we're going to come back every 4 months and help you out or something like that. But don't let it stay unattended, because they are one of the worst things that we deal with for just plain having a situation taken over. Give us a buzz, shoot us a text. I say it the same every time. That part's free, and we'll see what we can do. Thanks.